Alright, what's up, y'all? Just got back from chest and tri day, repping my military muscle. You like that? Oh, shit. And then want to give a shout out to Major Gains Fitness for bringing me on board. Gonna coach me up, try to make me a better person. But what I keep getting asked with summer coming up is, why am I not losing weight? And, I got the 5 biggest reasons that I personally think and that I come across a lot as to why this happens. Now, this is besides not tracking. If you're trying to reach a specific goal and you're not tracking your intake and your energy output, you're really just guessing. Your accuracy is not going to be there, and you're not, unless you get lucky, you're not going to get the results you want. But first off, people who weigh themselves once a week. Now, I know a lot of people get afraid of the scale, and it's all right. Using the mirror is a great idea, but I really push to use the scale as a way to make sure that the macros and the calories that you're using are working towards the goal you want them to. And what a lot of people do is they'll weigh themselves once a week, which generally is fine, but weight fluctuates. And if you're losing, a half pound a week, you could be weighing in at 201 Monday, and the next Monday you weigh at 201 and you see it as a 1 pound increase, when in reality, your average weight for the week might have been 199-ish. So you don't want to make drastic changes off a fluctuation mistake by just weighing yourself once a week. Another one is weight loss isn't linear. A lot of people who, after a bulk, start their first week cut, realize that on that first week they lose the most weight. And, you lose 2, 3, maybe 4 pounds off muscle glycogen and water, and then the following weeks you drop down 1 pound a week, maybe a half a pound a week. Maybe next week you don't lose any weight for maybe 2 weeks. And then after that, you jump up to a 1 pound loss. And a lot of people who don't realize that weight loss isn't linear will get discouraged and maybe drastically cut their calories, which could lead to a lack of adherence to your goal because it's just too much cutting, which would be too low energy output, and you get discouraged. Another one is being realistic with your goals, and that goes along with realizing that weight's not linear. If you're shooting for 2 to 3, maybe 4 pounds lost a week, it's not a realistic goal for most people. And what tends to happen is people will look over that 1 pound loss or that half pound loss as a no weight loss for that week. And it happens. I know it sounds dumb, but it happens. People will lose a half pound a week and say, I didn't really lose any weight this week, because they're not losing that 3 or 4 pounds, which again causes adherence problems. You get discouraged and you quit. You don't follow through with it. If you don't track, here's another one, is your intake honesty. People, when they self-report calories, it's been shown they could be off anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories. And that can be a huge problem when you think you're on 1,500 calories and you're really on 2,200, because you're not tracking and you're not honest with yourself, and then you don't really know what's going on. You're telling yourself, I'm on 1,200 calories, I don't know why I'm losing, when in reality, you may be on 1,700 calories, and you're just not in a calorie deficit. And the last one is, people use tracking sites. They got their macros, they got their calories, their training's on point, their water's on point, they're hitting their micros, they're hitting their fiber, and they're seeing this number on there. They're seeing, I'm on 2,000 calories. But a lot of times, tracking sites are user input on food. So in reality, the food that you think you're putting in there might not have the right calorie or micro number for them. A good example would be the chicken breast that I use for mine. The macros are there, but the calories that are registered for that selection is -2 calories. So imagine if you didn't pay attention to that, and you got, quarter your protein coming from -2 calories of chicken. You're probably overshooting your intake by, a couple hundred calories, because you don't notice in the broad scheme of all the food you have registered that one of them might not be accurate. And there's a whole slew of other reasons why you're not losing weight. These are just a couple of them that I see a lot. So what it really all boils down to is paying attention to the small details, knowing your intake, making sure that the food you're registering is accurate, staying dedicated for the long term, and staying up to date on the knowledge. There's no secret, but there are tools and tricks, for keeping yourself full, for diet breaks when you're doing on long cuts, refeeds when you get to a lean point. They're all tools you should look into, and all tools you should utilize. And I'm trying to keep my videos short. It's just over 5 minutes. So those are, you know, the biggest problems I see with losing weight and people not thinking they're losing weight. And subscribe to my videos. I'll try to get more in the future.